Hello, everybody. This is the pre-speed oiling class. It won't be as fast. It still will be as fun, hopefully. I won't be the host of the speed oiling class, so that class will definitely be more fun. I'm working on my blue, okay? But tonight is all about logistics. Tonight is about we are going to have this great class, and how are we going to get ready for it? So, first of all, what we want to do is put our intention out there. So every time you think about the class, every time that you talk to anybody about it, no matter if you've done 100 classes, if you've never done a class, I want your intention to be that people need what I have. I attract people who need what I have. And what do we mean by that? It's putting out there that I have something that other people need. I'm here to help, and they need it. They desire to be healthy. They desire to make a life change. So it's putting out there, not the opposite of that. And we've all been there, the opposite of when we've made any kind of went out on a limb, got out of our comfort zone, and asked someone to come to a class, right? So I want every one of you to just get out of your minds, get out of your thought process that anyone would say no to this. Because what would have happened if someone, before you knew about oils, what if you had been invited to a class by someone you didn't know anything about? Aren't you so grateful for the person who didn't give up on you, who asked you, who maybe stepped out of their comfort zone? So I want you to put yourself in that position. So when names of people pop into your mind of who needs to come to this class, that you don't hesitate to, oh, they wouldn't be interested. They need what I have. Change your thinking. So even just before you send out your invitations, before you get ready to make your list, which we're going to talk about that here in a little bit, I want you to apply your oils. I want you to put on into the future. I want you to put on valor. I want you to put on abundance. Whatever, what do you have there? Highest potential. Keely's got that one. Whatever would help, because sometimes we feel intimidated to ask for what reason. That's our own insecurities, our own limiting beliefs, but there's somebody out there that you could change their life, or them telling someone else could change that life. So I just want to encourage you with that, to not let anything get in your way of engaging people and inviting them to come, because speed oiling, it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, the logistics of speed oiling are that we're going to go through the starter kit, and there's going to be some people that are joining, the majority of people, and we're all going to be doing it online because we're going to have 15 different people across the country. And I think we only have US right now, but we're going to be doing it, and we're going to be doing it at a quick rate of speed. And the idea behind it is that you're going to have people that you invite to join online, and by next time, there won't be any technological issues that will be fine, because it's going to be tested, it's going to be vetted, it's going to be good. And so when they click on that link, it's going to send them straight here. And whenever they do get into the class, they're going to see people with eyes that are open and ears that are open and hearts that are accepting and smiling faces, because we aren't going to be like this. We're going to be smiling at one another and seeing each other. And even though we can't hug, we're going to be like, this is our community. This is our family. These are our people. And we're going to just help people to feel the excitement that we have. We may not be able to get together. It's been way too long since I've hugged some of y'all, way too long. And so we can at least bring that energy into across the screen. Some of you I know are going to have already decided you're going to host people in your home or in small groups where you live, and that's super awesome. So you'll be able to just pass the oils around. And some of you are just going to invite people all over the country. I have a group of people on the East Coast that I've invited. And so I'm making these little mini kits. Now, I'll get into the logistics of all that. We'll put links up here in a second. But you guys, it's all about who we invite. So do you have a list of people that are your contacts? Do you have a no, not yet list? People who you've talked to in the past and have said, no, I'm not interested. Do you have just friends? Who has ever said, ooh, I love the way you smell? Who's asked you questions about oils? Who's ever commented on what do you do for this or that? That is your list of people to invite. You can also, there's already current members. You'll want to invite your brand new members for sure. It's not that person who hasn't been around, who hasn't been a member for a long time. This is going to be a fun class for anybody. But our purpose, the reason I'm even doing this class is because, let's just be honest. How long has it been since you've hosted a class? A long time? Go ahead, be honest. It's been a long time for me. So I haven't had people in my home, and I'm ready to get as close as I can to having people in my home again and having you in my home, right? And going to each other's homes. And that's what we're going to do. So we are going to reach out to the people who don't know about oils. We're going to reach out to the people we've invited to know about oils. And that's going to be our focus for the evening. And I want to encourage everybody to invite people and get them to the call. So I'm sending out messages. I'm putting information out there. I'm getting it to you, but I'm personally inviting people. I'm sending invitations to people. I'll show you how to do my mini kit here in a second. I'm sending those to people so they can join us. And I want you to do the same thing. I don't want it to just be a casual mass mailer to people. I want you to personally invite them. I want them to feel like, oh my goodness, Kara wants me to be there. Kara thought enough about me to call me or send me a handwritten note, right? And so for the person, I feel so strongly about this, that the person, drum roll please, who has the most confirmed people at the meeting, at the class, the person who has the most confirmed people will receive a Lucia diffuser. Yes. So Mama's not playing. Okay. I want people at this class. So if you like that, maybe that incentivizes you, go for it. Then you will receive that Lucia diffuser. The person who has the most confirmed people in attendance, not just invited. Okay. You don't get credit for all your postcards. Get them to the class. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We're also going to have a giveaway for everybody who, we want to get people there a little early. So everybody who logs in by no later than 7:55 is going to be in an additional drawing. So if you get logged in, that means we can have a little bit of banter. We can have a little bit of fun. Everyone's set and ready to go. When we start at 8 o'clock, we are going. The timer begins. So 7:55 Central Time, if everyone who's logged in by then, their names will be entered into a separate drawing. Now, for those of you who are like, okay, well, there's going to be 5 or 6 people at my house, then congratulations, you get to be the hostess and figure out how to split the gift. It will be a bottle of oil. so there you go. People can log in. I believe we'll probably be able to start a 1/4 till is when the host and everybody will be on, but 5 till for sure is when we want everybody logged in to be able to be in the drawing. Sound good? That should eliminate all the technical difficulties and make sure that we can get online. Now, I want to announce, I confirmed our host today, our hostess with the mostest, and her sidekick, which they could probably have a radio show if they needed to, a morning radio show. Madison Goodyear is going to be our host and is going to keep everything running smoothly. And then my very own sister, from the same mister, Molly Moses. Don't tell her I called her Molly Hopkins. Molly Moses, my sister, is currently going to be our co-hostess and timekeeper. And so it could be playoff night for basketball for her son. So I want them to go to playoffs, but I really want her to be our timekeeper more. So anyways, we'll just play that one by ear. So she may not be able to do it, but if not, I will find someone just as fun and entertaining and blue. Okay. So that's what's going to be happening with the host. And I'm now that was the only part of the agenda I knew by heart. Now I'm looking at my notes. Okay.
Priscilla asked how early people can hop in.
I said we're going to be on as early as a 1/4 till. Is that good? And then that gives everybody 10 minutes to kind of get in there and we can identify, and I'll be taking pictures of everything. So it'll be fair. It'll be so fair. And then we are going to go through, let me share my screen so you can see this and you can see our agenda. And you will see that I have some holes to fill. Okay, so this is what our lineup is. And I have some more notes on my paper. So there's more people who've committed to do things that I have not put on the list yet. But right now, this is what it looks like. At 8 o'clock, we start with Seed to Seal Premium Essential Oil. And you guys know that they're taking off 100% therapeutic grade off of our bottles, right? You've heard that. That's having to go, just it's a legal issue it's an industry-wide legal issue. And we are, it's something we kind of have it's going to be required. So Young Living is changing to the term Seed to Seal Premium. So we're going to start using that, just like instead of business builders, we're going to call them brand partners. It's just some semantics. It's just lingo from here on out. But that's basically going to be what is an oil and why is Young Living different in less than 2 minutes. So buckle up, people. Then lavender is going to be the first one. Every oil and every speaker is going to go through, they're going to tell 4 main things: the oil name, whether or not it has a vitality. And when we talk about lavender, we're actually going to explain what vitality means. And then which farm does it come from? And then they tell their personal story about it. So the first 3, like lavender, and it also has a vitality oil. So that means that you can, the same great oil comes in the same bottles. One, we like to be able to show it for internal use, and one we talk about it, use it topically, thanks to the wonderful FDA. And then, of course, it grows on multiple farms that Young Living has, including Mona, Utah, our St. Mary's, Idaho. We have it in France, and they've actually grown some, not a lot, in Ecuador. And then I'll use the remainder of that 2 minutes to tell my story about that oil. And then there will be a handy dandy ding. And then Madison or Molly will say, "Oh, thanks so much. That was great. Now we're going to hear from Keely talking about peppermint." And then that's where it will go from there. We'll go all the way through. We do our singles first, and then we will do our blends. And then at the bottom, we will talk about Thieves and the Thieves line. So this is what Thieves oil is. So clearly when we get to the blends, you're going to be able to say the name. You're going to be able to say maybe the oils that are in it. If it's not, doesn't take up too much of your time, eat up into your 2 minutes of your testimony. And then if it's vitality, and of course you can't say which farm it comes from. So that's why you'll just have a little bit more time to be able to share about that oil and how you use it. The Thieves and Thieves line, which I need to put an S on the end of that, Thieves, that is where we're going to be able to talk about the hand sanitizer or the spray, or whatever is in the premium starter kit at that moment, based on supplies. And then also we're going to be able, and of course the packet, talking about Thieves household cleaner and how wonderful it is, and just the entire Thieves line. One person will talk about Ningxia Red and how it comes in your kit. And then Beth Packard is going to close us out and talk about how she got her kit, why it's such a great value, and being able to use her diffuser. That is one thing I want everybody to be able to have a setup, the people who are going to be speaking, to be able to have a setup that shows, like, that's my diffuser. And I love using my diffuser. I love to put peace and calming in it at night before everyone goes to bed. And then if you want to show how to use the diffuser, that's great. So that's kind of the gist of it. And then at 8:30, we will have our drawing. At that point, we are going to be in uncharted territory, because we are excited about the fact that we're going to have people joining in groups. So we're going to have in-person hosts that are going to say, "Bye, we'll see you later." And then we're going to have hosts that are virtual. So if you want to be a host, and you're going to have people, then we're going to have breakout rooms. So as people are talking and we're going through this, I will be making breakout rooms. I want all of the hosts to individually message me who they invited that's there. And then I will make breakout rooms with the names of those people in the 30 minutes where everyone's talking. I'm not going to be doing an oil, because I'm going to be organizing people behind the scenes to go into breakout rooms. And when people go into breakout rooms and you're their hostess, that means you get to talk to them, answer their questions, get more one-on-one time. And we're going to leave those rooms open for about 30 minutes. So you can show people, you can walk them through how to enroll. You can answer their questions. You can send them links directly. And actually at 8:30, I think what would be even more valuable before we go into breakout rooms is I will share my screen, show people how to go to theyoungliving.com, how to enroll, and where to put in the member ID. And that, just in case anyone leaves before then, we also are going to let them text the word speed oil to that number, 918-322-7070. And we're going to have a little follow-up questionnaire. What did you think about tonight? What was your favorite part? Type of thing. And did you get your shipment in time? You know, just something like, have you connected with your host? We don't want anyone to fall through the cracks, because this could be a pretty big class, especially if everybody's trying to win a Lucia. And so I don't want anyone to fall through the cracks and not get the kit that they want. So we are going to make sure that everyone's connected. And then when you do go into your breakout rooms, or when the people who are in your personal homes, then you get to take the rest of that time to work with them directly. Again, that last part's totally new. We've never done anything like that before, but that seemed like the best solution for you being able to talk to the people you invited. Does anyone have a question about that? Joy.
Not that I'm competitive or anything. So as I put this out to my team and those of us with really big teams,
Mm-hmm.
who gets to be the person who says, I had the most people there?
Well, who did you personally invite? And it goes back to who invited you to this class, and whoever they say first is who that counts for. So you're hosting an in-person group. So you've already almost eliminated yourself from this whole.
But I'm also putting it out to 958 Project Broadcast people.
We might have to join the call at 7:30. I might be on that early, getting people in. Okay. And you know you can buy these too, right? You know these are available in your virtual office. Okay, sorry, I just had to say that. Because you know what, what if you did a thing within your own team? And say, hey, if we win, then the person within our team will get the diffuser. So there you go. Or
I like that.
You offer a diffuser within your own team. So
Janelle has her hand up.
yes, Janelle, I'm trying to.
I had a question. So after the breakout group, will we be coming back together again?
So what you could do if you have people in your, no, we're basically saying goodnight and go work with the people who are there with you, because we wanted to just kind of have a fun, exciting time. And then you're going to be doing the finishing work, helping people get what they need. And then we're going to do the follow-up to make sure later on that they didn't fall through the cracks or get disconnected. Hopefully you'll have a good idea of the people that you're looking for, have a list, so you can kind of check names off of who's there, so you can follow up later if somebody gets disconnected or has to go put kids to bed, or it is going to be late on the East Coast and Central Coast or Central Time. But if you have people that are in your home and online, what I would recommend is stay on as a breakout room, and you can talk to all of them. So you could be talking there in your home and passing around oils or asking questions, and then also making sure those people online are engaged, because that's part of their family, their team, and their community as well. Does that make sense?
That's super. Thank you. Yes, that's perfect. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to talk about my sample kit before you guys, unless there's anything else. Okay, so I have these are 2 milliliter drams. You guys probably have bunches of them left over from over the years, or maybe you have actual bottles of oils that are empties. Either one's fine. So you might want to send empties to people. You might want to send, I got these. You can get these in bulk on Amazon pretty quickly. I got these little labels. I don't know if you can see, where did I put my labels? I moved them so a child wouldn't touch them. And so these are some of the labels that I got. These are from Moxie Oil Supplies. This was on Etsy. And I got like a set of 50. And I'm trying to remember. Let me go look real quick. I had my list what I paid for it. I got that. And so I've got enough for all of the oils, plus it comes with a carrier oil label. I'm not planning to send a carrier oil. I'm just going to tell people most of them will have a high quality olive oil or if I'm concerned about that, I might send a little thing of V6, but I didn't plan ahead for that. But I like that these have, of course, I'm going to put 3 to 5 drops in each one. And there you go. Why 3 to 5? Because I want them to be able to have them later if they want to use them later on until their kit comes in. Why would I put it on the side instead of the lid? Joy Ballard, good idea. Because if they start taking lids off and they get confused, then it's not they know which one is which, and it's not like us that we smell the lid and we know which oil it is, right? So that's going to be really helpful. You can send those out. What I would do is put it inside like a little pretty little bag, a little baggie, and then put it inside a padded envelope, and then send it with whatever information. If you have a Flourish booklet, whatever you like to use, that's your kind of your handout for a class, and make sure that your contact information is on it. Make sure that the date and the time of the class, make sure you do their time zone. If they're in a different time zone than you, and then you put your phone number and everything on there to make sure they have a connection to you. Does that make sense?
Do we have the link for the class yet, so that the link can be communicated multiple ways, multiple times?
So that was the link for this class. And so we're going to do some testing as to see what was going on with that. What I might end up doing is if that changes, I might send a QR code. And that way people, all they have to do is scan it. I don't know how that would work on a computer though. So because we had technology difficulties tonight, that's a really good question, but I'm going to be working, I have 2 weeks. Actually, I have a week and a half to figure that out. And then so we can get that communicated to you guys in time. Anybody else have a question? Erica.
If we don't have the means to send a sample of all the oils, do you have a few recommended ones to use?
Yeah, I would just say send them a list and ask which ones they want. Just say, I'm going to send you a handful of these. We're going to go through like 30. We're going to go through 15 and 15 different things, and 12 of them are oils. And I'm going to send you a sampling. They don't have to know that everybody else has a full set. So, but if you are hosting a class, I recommend that you have a kit on hand that somebody can leave with too. So that way, when they walk out the door, they're not, if you have more than one person there that wants a kit, we always just do the fairest thing, and that's a random drawing. So have them complete their information and order their kits, and then whoever wins the drawing, then that is the one who gets to take it home. Anything else?
So Laura, this is a stupid question, but do we call them and ask them first if they want to join, or do we just send out an invitation with the little oils and that's how we ask them if they want to join?
Well, what I would do before you invest in sending a sample, I would ask I want people to have a little skin in the game. So I'm inviting people to participate. You can even say, I only have 5 available samples kits. I can only make it, you want it to be something that is important to them. I only have this many, and you're on the top of my list. Would you like one? And then if they say, yes, I would, I'll take it. That also, yeah, it makes it exclusive, but it also makes it be She's going to ask them if they, Janelle, I'm going to ask them if they would like to choose 3 or if they have specific needs that I know that I'll tailor to that. Okay, there you go. Or whenever you invite people, you can say, you know, you've been asking me about essential oils, or you've commented before on wanting to come to a class, or maybe they just might be fun people. They may like parties. They might like social stuff. You're going to love my friends. We're getting together. I can get you these oils and you join us on that night. You're going to have so much fun. We're going to be laughing and cutting up and hearing each other's oil stories. And I know you would enjoy it. Would you like to come? And then that's when you send them or take to them, if they live in your town, their oil samples. Because you can't just send out 100 of them and hope something sticks. You need to be intentional. And then that way it also feels special when somebody asks, whenever you send them something and they're like, oh, wow, yeah, I love that. Thank you. Erica's going to just happen to have extra sample bags with her at a few gatherings over the next 2 weeks to bring to friends. And you might have 5 friends there and you only have 3 bags, and then they just have to arm wrestle for it. So, yes, LSP has the little boxes with booklets and oil bottles. And what's cool too is that you could have someone, some of you are like, I can't get the certain oils in time, and you might have people and you might just send them a handful and then they go, ooh, really, I'd really, really like to try an additional oil. And so, you know, you go, well, when you get your kit, until your kit arrives, I will bring you some frankincense, or I'll give you some frankincense. So that's also a nice gesture for people who, if you're not, depending on which oils you're passing out. Okay. And you know, when Young Living used to have those starter kits that had the little vials in them, I never really used them very much because I would always just put oils in my empties. And I have a lot of empties. I've probably given away more empty bottles or bottles than I have open probably right now at any given time. So anyways, okay. Yes, Janelle says, I do that too because of brand recognition. I want them to have the Young Living bottle. Absolutely. 100%. Very good. Okay. What do you guys think about this? I'm excited. And if you see something, you're like, this could be it. Warning, Will Robinson. Okay, I need you to tell me that because I may not see it. So get with me, send me a message. The emperor has no clothes. We don't do that in this group. We talk freely. We help each other out because we are a community. And so I'm kind of flying blind here a little bit. And so going in here and going, we're going to do breakout rooms for, I don't know how many people. I don't even know exactly how that's going to work, but we're going to work on it. We're going to do it. And so if you guys are trusting, and we're going to make every intention, put all of our intentions towards the fact that this is going to be excellent, and that what we're doing it for is to increase our teams. We want to bring more people into our family. So every time we get back together, that we have these bigger and bigger and bigger family reunions. So we are going to go into it with confidence. And for those of you who joined at the end, didn't hear me saying this, every time you think about who you're going to invite this week, in the week after, just see them participating, see them using a diffuser, see them using their oils, and just know that you are attracting people who need these products. You're attracting people who need what you have. And somebody did that for you. And so you're paying it forward right now. So I'm excited to get people to do a class, because I think people are ready to do classes. And hopefully for some of you, this will be just what you need to do your own class in person. Those of us who are the mentors in this group that are kind of working on the training, we are going to start doing these types of preps, like how to do a class, how to get ready for your class more often this year. And so if there's a topic that you'd really like to hear or you'd like us to cover, let us know. Sound good? All right. So if you're not already on the project broadcast, you can text the word speed oil to 918-322-7070. And like I said, all of the, I will put the links to on our Facebook page. I will put our links to these supplies if you want those types of things. And, oh, I was just gonna do that, Joy, thank you. And that way we can, you can share some of your best practices, what you're gonna use. And if you can go in with somebody else and if you wanna get these are not super expensive, but it is nice to be able to have them, like what Jen also says, keep your empties. Don't let your friends throw away lavender and peppermint and lemon bottles. Don't throw them away anyways, recycle. But all right, guys, we love you. I
Hey,
say we.
Keely asked, should we give our guests that text code as well to go ahead and text you? Or is that an after the fact?
Let's wait until the day, like right before. I'm putting it out on our essentials page for people who are already members to kind of give them heads up and make sure you invite people. So people who are not members may not understand, like, what do you mean invite people? So let's wait until like you can give it to them maybe within 24 hours before. That way they're not getting all of they'll just get the reminder the day of, like, hey, we're gonna, your class starts in an hour, who's excited? And so they'll get kind of like the pump you up type stuff. So there's one that's scheduled for like, it's the classes on Thursday. There's one scheduled for Sunday afternoon. There's one scheduled for Wednesday afternoon, and then like right before on Thursday. So does it sound good? All right.
I have a logistics question, something. So if people don't get put into a breakout room, like after, will you be able to still see, and then you can be like, hey, Erica, like who invited you? Who do I need to section you off to?
Yep.
Or do they just get dumped?
No, I'm enrolling them. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. No, I'll just ask them who invited you to the class tonight. And if it's somebody who's not on the call, then I'll just let them stay in my group until we figure out who they belong to. Cause there might be somebody that for whatever reason couldn't make it after all. And then I'll just sometimes you just kind of drill down to find out who really invited them. It might be a friend of a friend type thing. So.
Perfect.
Okay. All right, guys. I'll put other reminders out in the essentials group because we want all of those new members. The essentials group is full of people who are just using the oils, loving the oils, and maybe sharing every now and then. And you never know what would happen if somebody in that group just decides, like a lot of you did, to just tell one or two people who just happen to want to have a business. You never know. You just never know. So just follow the yes. Follow the yes. All right, ladies. And I've already volunteered. Well, Kristen has volunteered to her husband to do peace and calming. So we're going to try to get him, to get a guy in here. In case it's not that it just has to be ladies. We can invite men too. And at the end of this month, my husband is going to be hosting the Monday night live class in the essentials page. So that's kind of fun because we're trying to engage the guys a little bit more as we can. So hopefully they don't think it's just, but we can still have fun, just girls, but men are allowed to participate. All right. If you have other questions, post them on the page whenever either the previous speed oiling on the 7 Oily Days influencers, or when we repost about it on the essentials page. or message me directly, or that number 918-322-77, you can text me directly. All right, ladies. Good night.
Good
Thanks
night.
for joining.